Pleased as always to be bringing you coverage of the National Football League on EA Sports. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Kansas City Chiefs It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. Today, it's week 3, and we've got a good one in store between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Indianapolis Colts. It's the first weekend of autumn, and the NFL is in full swing as off we go on EA Sports. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They'll run here with a rookie second-round pick, Kenneth Walker. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. That's a start they can live with. 15 yards on their first play from scrimmage. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
So quickly all the way up at the 40-yard line. Back to Walker on first down. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
After the loss, they'll come up 2nd and 13. Mahomes going to throw. That is caught by Lamb. And they're able to work this across midfield to the 48. And early on, they're picking up right where they left off last week.
And I know a lot of coaches say each game is its own. You don't really have carryover. This feels like carryover. So much confidence from the previous game that they're using to their advantage now.
Walker now on 1st and 10. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. They'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Oftentimes when you see a running back get bunched up in the backfield, it's usually because the defensive tackle is eating up blockers for others to make the play. Not in this case.
Mahomes' throw here taken in as he's able to find Goddard. And they'll get him to the ground. He has another first down at the Colts' 38-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people. But you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Play action. Now it's Mahomes. And he'll just get rid of it.
Well, they've been back on their heels a little bit here on this drive, but a chance to exhale just a little bit there with incompletion on first down. Now they have to gear up, try and get 2 more stops, and escape this drive.
They work again from the 38 on 2nd and 10. On 2nd down, it's Walker. And brought down, but not before they're inside the 25. That goes for a Chiefs first down, 14 yards. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation. We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
A minimal gain there on the 8th play of the drive, and they're getting him involved early.
You feel like they saw something on tape, or they just have a sense with him because he's had a good week of practice or something in that area, but they want him involved, just as you said. They want him to touch it either in the running game or the passing game, but they must like the matchups they're getting.
And they're going to get this down inside the 15. Well, whatever script they put together for this offensive drive, Charles, seems to be working. Curious to see if this defense will make any adjustments here.
Things certainly going according to plan, aren't they? I mean, the way they're advancing the football, it's like they're on the practice field having one of their better days. But instead, it's game day, and they're moving the ball downfield with purpose.
Mahomes taps this forward. It's a jet sweep. He's taken down at the 7 after a gain of 7.
And a lot of times, these plays, they either go for nothing or they go for big yardage. And here, they got to the outside, turned it upfield, and ended up getting a nice little gain out of it.
Seven yards on the pickup there, and now they'll have it 1st and goal. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. Here's Walker. And he'll actually lose a little bit of yardage here. Back to the 2. A loss of 2 there, 2nd down.
So often you hear that pep talks don't really work in the heat of the battle. But collectively, this defense has to say to each other, we've been on our heels this whole first drive. This is where we need to dig in. And they got a nice stop right there for a loss on 1st and goal.
Mahomes gets it out quickly, and it's complete out wide. Touchdown! Dallas Goedert, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Chiefs will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Folk, and it's now a 7-0 game. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board. The drive will start with an option going left. And he's able to get this one up to his 30 before he's out of bounds. It'll be a pickup of 5 on the keeper in 2nd down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. What I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete.
This is what defensive coaches ask of their defenders every single ball game. Get a hand on every throw in coverage. They want the deflections. They want the knockaways. Pick it yourself if you can, but at least knock it down and guarantee it's incomplete.
Now it's Fields. Open man, that's Devontae Smith. And he is going to have a Colts first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. The Colts had 0-2 here to begin the season. And listen, they made their share of mistakes in these first 2 games, CD, but talking with them in the days leading up to this one, doesn't seem like they've lost any confidence.
I would agree with that. And what they told us was that they weren't planning on making any drastic changes. They didn't see the need to shake things up. They were going to continue to plow ahead. They felt they had the right guys on the team and in the locker room. But they do have to start winning some games.
And the catch made, it's Tyler Boyd. And he'll be taken down as that will take us to the end of the first quarter of play. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Now on third down, an extra DB out there for the Chiefs. Trying to run for it with Jacobs. He will have the first down as he's brought down up near midfield.
That's quite a spot there for his first carry of the game, but obviously they had plenty of faith in him, didn't they?
No question about it. And here, why not go with the fresh legs? Able to push forward, pick up that first. 2 first downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Play action. It's Fields. That one complete down the field to Smith. And he takes this just a few yards shy of the red zone before going out. A very solid gain of 27.
And this has been a nice answer to the touchdown drive against them a few minutes ago because they've come out and reestablished the tempo. A nice throw there, and they're putting together a very strong drive as a response.
And they're going to stop him right at the line of scrimmage. Just no cutback lane to be found whatsoever. 2nd and 10.
That was a nice job there defensively, being able to diagnose that little touch pass. They saw it coming, converged on it before he could get much out of it.
On 2nd down, Jacobs. He'll get only 3 there, so it leaves him with a 3rd and 7 ahead. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Well, this drive, they're 2 for 2 on 3rd down conversions, but they need 7 yards here. Now Fields. Quick slant here to Smith. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. He's exceeded his receiving yards from a week ago, and we're still in the first half. It's a first down. Here's Jacobs. And he'll take this from the 9 down to about the 7.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
On 2nd and goal, Fields. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. It's Devin White, the linebacker. And the Chiefs are going to take over here on the INT at their own 5-yard line. A nice burst there as they'll get about 7 that time on the 1st down run.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a game.
A good run got 7 on 1st. Here's 2nd and 3. Now this time Mahomes will throw. And that's going to be caught downfield by Slayton. Finding room at midfield. Now he's loose down the left sideline. And all the way in for a Kansas City touchdown. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
And that's the kind of play where you have to kind of catch your breath afterwards. So just give me a second here, because when he shifted into high gear, he was an absolute blur out there. No substitute for speed. We talk about that all the time. The evidence was right there.
And the top speed he attained there, according to Next Gen Stats, 21.3 miles per hour. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Now, Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their 2nd drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, We always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game. But when you're down a couple of scores like this, CD, you can't afford too many plays that go in the wrong direction like that one.
Yeah, when you take a good look at it broadly, sacks are better than giving up an interception. But where they are on the scoreboard, they've got to get rid of all of that and just create positive plays for themselves in order to have a chance.
But here we go on 4th down. Fields. This time for Smith, and it's intercepted. Trent McDuffie with a pick, and the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Slot man moves right. Up the middle they run. It's Walker. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. They'll bring a tight end in motion left. Again, Walker. And he will take it on in for a Chiefs touchdown. Ken Walker with his first career NFL touchdown. And the Chiefs are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Folk connects on the extra point, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Folk now set to boot it after his guys put 6 on the board.
The Colts take over 1st and 10 at their own 35-yard line.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And it's been a miserable start for them offensively, obviously. 2 drives, 2 interceptions.
And this is where you have to know your quarterback and know how you actually have to reach him. Do you do it with a little bit of humor? Maybe you break the ice a little bit like, hey, didn't we practice in that color jersey all week, not the one that you're throwing it to? Or maybe you have to be sterner with it. But whatever it's going to take to get the message, it has to be done. He's putting the game in jeopardy.
The Colts going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming 2nd down play. To throw is Fields. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on. 3rd down.
Down several scores and playing behind the chains is not the way to have success in this one. Right now, if you're the offensive line, your big concern, protecting your quarterback, even a chance to try and throw something downfield to pick up the needed yardage.
And he'll get it up near the 35, right at the 34 here. Now a 2nd timeout called for by the defense as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 4th down, Fields. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. A surprising move to go for it. Predictably, at least somewhat predictably, it doesn't pay off. And the Chiefs will have the football back in excellent field position. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Up up the middle. Here's Walker. 44 yards on the ground for him so far.
Hey, it's not the most spectacular play, but I think most teams would take that every single time for the first play of a drive. Begin the series with positive yardage and set yourself up for a very manageable second down.
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Carl Joseph came roaring in on the safety blitz. Just not much a quarterback can do there, CD. The pressure was in his face almost instantaneously, led to a very quick sack. After the sack, things get a little tougher here. 3rd and long for Mahomes and the Chiefs. This pass complete to Reynolds. And he will have a Chiefs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Here's 2nd and 10. To throw, it's Mahomes. Going across the middle, and Goddard's got it. And in for the Chiefs touchdown. Dallas Goedert in the final seconds of the first half. And the Chiefs are able to add on to their first half lead. Extra point up and good by Folk. And a rout is on here in this first half. So 6 seconds, all that remains of this first half as the kick is away. Well, from deep in the end zone, he's going to bring this out. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. And they'll have time for one play. That's it. 3 seconds to go before intermission. On the move to his left. Puts it on the carpet. It's out. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Colts getting the football first, and they trail here as we are back underway in quarter number 3. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. The Indy offense at the line and set to go. We'll see, Charles, if they had a chance to hit the reset button at halftime. They have not scored. They're facing this big deficit. And if they're going to come back, it's going to have to start right now.
Yeah, and for them, it's not dwelling in the negative because, yes, they were totally ineffective in the first half. But we've seen many games that have flipped around in the second half. It all starts with this drive right here. They get something good going, put some points on the board, they begin to have hope.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. A loss of 3 on the sack made by multiple defenders.
Okay, was it a breakdown in protection? Did the running back not pick him up? What does it really matter? Sometimes it's just a great play made by the defense. Big-time sack.
Meanwhile, Fields' throw here into the hands of Boyd. Short completion, just 4 yards, and that's going to set up a tough 3rd and 9.
Brings up 3rd and 9.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first. Throwing on 3rd down, Fields. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. Multiple defenders getting to him there for a huge loss.
It's been a tough one all game long for this offensive line. They're already down big, and now you know they're just going to come after the quarterback.
And they're going to fake it from deep in their own territory. And this is caught. And he will not make like it. They stop him short of the first down. I know, without even asking, without even looking in your direction, that you are not a fan of that call.
Oh, I wish you would look, Brandon, because I was actually thinking this would be the perfect time for a fake.
Right. Right.
Yeah, you're right. This doesn't make any sense to me at all. This deep in your own territory. Look, I'm all for being unconventional. That part's cool, and I get it. But this deep, I just don't think it was the right time to make that call.
52 yards rushing for him now to this point.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Sticking with Walker on second down. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. 2 yards, good enough for a first.
Not too many more ideal situations in 2nd and 2 in order to try and pick up a first down. They ran it and picked it up.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And going right back to Walker. And he is going to lose yardage here. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
Well, it's almost football 101 that you preach to your safeties. Don't let anyone get behind you. You're the last line of defense. But he didn't let the play come to him. He went to the play. How about that read and recognition and finishing off that one behind the line of scrimmage?
Now they contend with a 2nd and 12 after the loss. From the gun, it's Walker. They'll get 4 on 2nd down, but it leaves them with 3rd and still 9 to go.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here, because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
And with the play clock reading 4, we're going to get a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn one here in this 3rd quarter. And for the Colts, an extra defensive back in there now on 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Walker. And they're going to get him down shy of the 1st at about the 13-yard line. It's a 6-yard gain, and it leaves them looking at a 4th down.
And once again, leverage wins. The offensive line, lower than the defensive front. They moved them and found some good space for the guy carrying the ball.
Here's Nick Folk now on for the field goal. From the left hash, a chip shot here. Folk's kick is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So tack on 3 more, though it's just a rare drive where they did not find the end zone.
Yeah, you're right about that, partner. But at this point, I don't think you're too concerned about that. You just want to possess the football for a while and drain the clock. If you can get 3 out of it, that's great too.
And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And he'll be stopped right around where he would have been had he gone down to a knee, maybe a yard shy of there at the 24. The Colts come to the line ready to start their next drive. Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that, because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. Off play action, Fields. Looking here for Smith downfield. Oh, had his hands on it, couldn't bring it in. Pretty symptomatic of how this game's been going.
And there's another stop. One of the league's best defenses is certainly bringing it again this week.
Here's Thomas Morstead now. On presumably to punt, though he did complete a pass earlier. Only 2 punts for him last week in the loss as he gets this one away. And certainly not the greatest of kicks there. This one will be down inside their own 40-yard line.
The Chiefs take over first and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. To the right side, this is Walker. And they will only muster a yard here to the 38.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running game as well. And they did a nice job there of holding the point of attack and not giving ground.
Back to the ground, this time with Jones. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. And they're not going to get to the line to run another play. So we will switch ends as the 3rd quarter has come to a close. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They need to get to the 29 if they want to pick up a first here on 3rd down. They'll go again to Jones. Call it no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down. So they went a little cautious there on 3rd and long.
And nothing wrong with that. Remember, they're playing with a lead right now. So getting a 1st down, yes, that would be great. But even more importantly, take care of the football. No turnovers, no big plays for the other team, and keep the clock moving.
And he has got it from 55 yards away. That was never in doubt, and that will extend their lead even further. Well, ultimately not really sure that they're going to need those 3 points, but they'll take the 3 and they pad that lead.
Yeah, this one's already wrapped up, but you and I both know if you're an offensive coordinator, you never let up on the gas unless the head coach tells you to do so. And maybe you've actually clicked him off in your headset so you can keep calling plays and trying to add to this lead.
The Indy offense at the line and set to go. And they unfortunately are staring at a mini losing streak developing, trailing here in the 4th quarter. This would be their 3rd straight defeat. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That'll wind up a gain of 27 on the catch and run. Now, 4th quarter, certainly not enough time for a comeback, but nice to see them making use of the time remaining to try and make this one a little more respectable.
Yeah, I think the ultimate goal, good execution, be crisp, be sharp, and find a way to put some points on the board to make this thing look just a little bit better. And that's another play that's painted the picture of this game overall. It's been a blowout. It's been continually fueled by big turnovers and stops for one side and an inability to advance the ball from the other.
All in all, no gain on the play, and it'll bring up 3rd.
Late in the game, he's certainly doing everything in his power to buy time for his guys to make a play, but in this case, he's surrounded, and all he has room to do is to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 3rd down, here comes Jacobs. And he'll get this to the 40, but that's still going to be a few yards short of the 1st down. 4th down. Fields has to have this one. It's complete. The football comes out. Jacobs lost it, and it's picked up by the Chiefs. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line.
Okay, this isn't one where you want to take the game tape and hold it up as an example, do you? I mean, you talk about frustrating all the way through. And that last error, I think that crystallizes it, doesn't it?
Absolutely. That's been representative of their entire game still being shut out. Running right, here's Walker. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the first down run. He gets maybe 3.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
3 yards on the pickup. That's going to set up an interesting 3rd and about 4 to go.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big dent.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. Losing 2 yards that time, and now it's 4th down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they can let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
So they got the turnover, started with great field position, but in the end, the defense able to hold firm, and they only get 3 out of it.
And I like what you said right there. That defense able to hold firm, backed up into the shadow of their own end zone. Goalpost right behind them. They had to make sure they didn't give up the 6. And, boy, they came through in a big way. To them, even though they gave up 3, that's a win for their side.
The Colts come to the line, ready to start their next drive. Fields hit, and the ball is loose. And it's picked up by the Chiefs. And they are going to take over right there at the 22-yard line.
Well, partner, I think it's safe to say they can mark this down as extremely frustrating. Here we are in the 4th quarter, and that last play, that turnover, I think it epitomizes what happened to them all day on offense.
So symbolic, and that's why they're still being shut out. And they take a knee. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Chiefs in possession of the ball as we welcome you back. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more first down to help salt this one away. We'll see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. And they will take a knee here. And on 4th down, they come up and take the knee. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed, it's not going to be a fun handshake in the postgame, right? You just know that there's going to be some bad blood there. And I know if we go to the postgame press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it?
We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Oh, Fields is intercepted for a third time. Picked by Tracy Walker. And the Chiefs are going to take possession of the football. Well, they've got the huge lead. Now they have another interception on the defensive side. Seems like everything they touch in this one, Charles, turns to gold.
And they have to be awfully happy right there to get what appears to be one more for the road and help seal away one of their best efforts of the season.
Yellow.
And they'll indeed take a knee. Third down, the Colts beefing up the secondary. 6 defensive backs in the game. For the winning team here, Charles, that's about as big and clean of a win as you could hope for in the National Football League. No turnovers. Meanwhile, you forced turnovers. You didn't allow any points, and you put up a bunch of points. What an effort.
And, Brandon, I just have to ask you, that's all the stuff that we saw happen today. Those are statistics, numbers, the whole deal. But my question is, how does one team come ready to play, and the other one, obviously, not ready at all?
Well, I mean, I obviously don't have an answer to that, but that was the story from the get-go. One side was awake and ready, and the other just seemed asleep. So for the Chiefs, it's an ideal start as they move to 3-0 now on the young season. And they'll get another road date next week as their opponents will be the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Meanwhile, for Indianapolis, the early struggles continue as they'll sink to 0-3. And they'll be at home next week for a date with the Tennessee Titans.